to a special edition of Caldwell County Today. Today, the PIO staff sits down to talk about Christmas. Our Christmas memories, some of our favorite Christmas things, just everything Christmas. So, let's get started.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Christmas.
Christmas party.
Christmas party. So I'm gonna start with Eric. I'm gonna pick on Eric first.
Okay.
Eric, as a child, or even as an adult,
As a childish adult.
As a childish adult,
my
age.
Yeah.
Were you in Christmas plays or programs, and what are your memories of doing that?
I remember, well, we went to church, but we weren't super into the church. Now, we had family that was super into the church, and they did that stuff at church. I remember doing one at Davenport, when I was at Davenport, and we did Christmas Around the World, and we had to make we had to have a recipe, and then we had to make the recipe, and I think the teacher assigned it all, but I'm trying to think if it was Miss Dula or who it was. But anyway, they assigned the recipe, and you had to sing a song, and we did it in the Caldwell Heritage Chamber.
Oh,
and
cool.
So we were on that stage, and it was a full auditorium there then, and so we were on that stage. Pat and Kay do all their Christmas stuff at. So, so I remember actually that was the first stage I think I was ever on, and doing. For some reason I guess because I had black hair, I had like China or Japan or something. It was something Japanese. It was something like that, and I remember us having to make cookies. It was some kind of Japanese cookie that we made. So,
but I think when we were growing up, and I mean they may still do this, I don't know, but we did a lot of Christmas around the world things.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember doing that too.
Well, and they kind of want to, get the kids to know about different stuff. And it's really weird because I have family that lives in Amsterdam now, and they've already had their stockings, which is their wooden clogs, with the stuff. They've already had that already. Oh. And Kinderschloss has already came, or whatever his name is. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And but anyway, he's already came, and Kathy, my wife, mentioned to me, well, what do they do? And I was like, they do the wooden shoes, like we do stockings. And she had never heard that. She didn't know that that's what they actually did. So I was like, yeah, you put out your wooden Dutch boy shoes and get you whatever you get, which is, I think they're really kind of low key. I mean, it's like, a couple of candy canes and a yo-yo or something. It's
not much is going to fit in a wooden.
I know, but they're really kind of
It's like you got to be really selective.
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
Be very creative.
Yeah.
But we did hear a lot of that. And when we were growing up, I say this, I'm way older than her, but I say this there was a lot of stuff about unity and about, you had the ink is black, the page is white, and that stuff that there was really a lot about integration and culture that a lot of people close their minds to today, which it kind of disappoints me, but because I thought we fought these battles a long time ago. But that was, that's just the way I feel. So.
Well, Kirsten, what about you?
So, growing up in a very small church, we did a lot of Christmas plays every year, and I always had a part in every single play. So, I was married for a few years.
You were the angel.
I was married a few years running, and then I was the angel, and I had to be the narrator for the whole play. So, that was a couple of years of that. So.
Did you have to change your voice?
No. It's so sweet and angelic. I didn't have to change it to be an angel,
Just comes natural.
And Mallory,
so
we've
natural.
already talked that you didn't do Christmas plays. You did something a little different.
Yeah. So, no, I talked to Mom about this too, but she said that she was afraid to put us in Christmas plays. So we got to go in the parades where we didn't have to be so well behaved.
Yeah, you could yell.
We were on the
floats.
Floats. I rode my horse when they were still allowed. So.
Did you do like your parade wave?
Yeah.
When did they outlaw the horses? Because I always just thought that people quit entering the horses.
No, they don't. I know Lenore's parade. They don't allow horses anymore. I don't think any of. I don't know.
They do at sawmills. They do at sawmills each year.
Okay.
So, but it's been It's been several years that they've not allowed horses anymore.
And I don't know if it's an insurance thing, a cleanup thing.
I think a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the cleanup. But I mean, they're always
They're
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Nope.
always
I
the
know.
fun part.
Yeah.
To see.
One year
They're
marching.
usually right before Santa.
Yeah, or well, I think at Sawmills last year, I think they were behind Santa. I
Okay.
think they were even
They
further
were
back.
pushing Santa along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
But I remember them putting the horses in front of us when I marched in marching band.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had to
Yeah,
step
so we had to
over-
dodge while we were walking.
Man, that takes
with
some
my trombone.
skill. Yeah.
Yeah, I was dodging stuff. So,
Or
yeah.
just
say-
stepping right in it.
Yeah.
It'll come off down
Well, I was
the road
more
a little
afraid of falling than
Well, that's true.
than my shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a little. That would
Yeah.
be me. Maybe that's
We don't
the
want to
reason-
get your march off, you know, like
I didn't
y'all
want to
have
break
to
the
be in
trombone.
sync.
Yeah.
Just take it for the team.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll
Just
say
go
I
ahead,
want
step
to
in it.
announce the parade this year from a horse. That'd be fun.
I've got one.
Hey.
Yeah.
I've got a pony.
Well, you
got a
guys,
pony.
you guys are
That's
right
more
there. It would make you stand out too.
Yeah.
You and your
Yeah.
dad, so it would make you stand out because you're on the horse, and maybe the
Yeah.
mayor wouldn't be so quick to run over there because you might have a horse. And,
Yeah, all the kids would,
Here, we
would
put him in a
love it.
corral.
Make it
Yeah.
more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
one way
would.
to make an entrance.
That would be.
I say
like-
that kidding because Joe actually does go up and talk to them, and you see these parades and you don't know that Eric's on a truck on a ladder, like hoping
Yeah,
that my
he's
legs
always in
hold
the.
out.
He's in the dump truck behind, so
Yeah, so.
we never see that side.
Kathy says she's coming this year. You said you were coming this year. You go sit in the dump truck with me.
Yeah,
So,
she's coming.
You riding the dump truck?
They put a scaffold in the dump truck, and my
Oh.
cousin Duke, who works for the city,
Yeah.
and so Duke always tries to keep me safe and keep me from dying because
That's
I'm
good.
family. So
Yeah, we need you safe.
We want you safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a priority.
yeah, one year my legs got work out because it was shaking so much,
Yeah.
and it was just trying
Good.
to balance. But I mean, you see, that's the most work I do at work. As my dad used to say, look at them smooth baby-like hands. You never
Hitting
touch
that
the
record
thing.
button.
Hitting
Yeah.
that button like
Yeah.
George Jetson. That's all I do. Go right my finger. Boom.
Don't do any drinking before we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, parade.
Get your sea legs.
Get your sea legs. My mom directed our Christmas plays.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you were in it.
oh yeah. I
Oh,
was in
yeah.
it. But like I was always throwing out helpful suggestions. The church I grew up in was founded in the late 1800s. But I wanted to put a zip line in it, let the angels come in on the zip
I
line.
love-
so
I
they
love
had
that
an
idea.
entrance.
You're trying to modernize the church.
I was trying to modernize it. Patsy Richardson, on the other hand, not a fan. Not a fan. But yeah, we did a lot of Christmas plays.
Yeah.
Just use a pulley. You have somebody back yonder. You make sure they're strong enough to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pull in.
Yeah.
I
Let the angel go.
Try to add some drama. I mean, the most
just like
drama we
fly
can
in.
hang them up on top of a table.
I'd get behind that.
Oh no, I think we're lost. Whatever shall we do? Oh look, it's the good fairy. She'll know what to do.
Not to fear, little children. I will help.
Should have used Stren. Stren, the most dependable fishing line in the world.
Heck yeah.
Just swing it.
Some engineering and I don't know.
See, I mean, the church has stood for a long time. I don't really think a kid on a zip line's going to tear it down.
No.
No.
Anyway, I wanted more action in the Christmas plays. My mom wanted less action, more saying the lines and getting the message. Of,
Yeah.
Of the,
True
the
meaning of
meaning of
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yep.
Yep.
While we're talking about productions and theater, I know this is an Eric question.
Oh, God.
Favorite Christmas movies or movie?
Oh. Wow. I because I've seen them, so much, and I've seen them so much that now I'm getting into the obscure stuff. And so my favorite one right now is a movie called Christmas in Connecticut with Barbara Stanwyck. And it's not that well known, and it's a black and white movie, a lot like It's a Wonderful Life, but it's kind of a zany comedy. She is kind of a Martha Stewart in a magazine, and she writes this article about cooking and having a great home and all this stuff, but she's a fake, she's a fraud. And so she has a chef she's in New York, and she has a chef that gives her the recipes, and so who's her friend. And so what happens is at the end of World War II, and so one of the soldiers, all he wanted was a hot meal and to come home, and he'd been wounded, and so he is going to come to her house in Connecticut, which she doesn't have, and spend Christmas. And so they end up, the zaniness ensues. And so she's supposed to be married with a family, but of course he falls in love with her. And so it's like he feels bad because he's in love with Martha Stewart.
Like
it's a big Hallmark movie. It is like, but it's every little bit of it with a little Lucy thrown into it. It's a little I Love Lucy, so.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's just my favorite.
Yeah.
Kirsten?
On the same, I like a lot of the classic black and white, old school.
Of course.
I like white.
Me, Mom.
I am a Meemaw. I like White
I'm just
Christmas and
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. We grew up a lot on the Santa Claus movies with
Yeah.
Tim Allen, and
Yeah.
those are me and my brother Keegan's favorites. So we can probably
Which
quote
one
the.
of the Santa Claus movies?
I like the first original.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to make fun of Neil with the sweaters and
Yeah.
yeah, but those are fun. I don't think of what else.
Mine's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Like
that's-
I relate
yeah.
so much, like with.
your
Sorry,
life is
fam,
Christmas
but-
vacation.
Yeah. Yep. That is to a T.
Yeah.
Christmas vacation. That's on point. Love it.
What about you?
I had traditionally answered with Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they are set at Christmas, so give me that.
that's true.
Batman Returns. It's set at Christmas.
set at Christmas. So, there's stuff you can do that
Yeah.
maybe is not so feel good. But I'm like Kirsten, I enjoy the Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also really like Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah, that's a good
that
one.
one's
Yeah,
a
that's
good one.
great.
Because that's
Yeah.
one that like I can relate, especially right now.
Yeah.
I can relate to because I'm like, maybe I'll just go away for Christmas.
Yeah.
And nobody will notice
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
But then the kids show up at the last.
Yeah, there's a tropical vacation.
Then the tropical vacation becomes, well, we have to do all the Christmas traditions we've normally done.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things right now I do struggle with is what Christmas
Yeah.
traditions I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Christmas with the Cranks is really.
And last year was the first year I saw 4 Christmases, and I actually enjoyed that.
I enjoy that one too.
I think that's a lot of fun when you talk about
Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
I remember growing up too. My brother and I used to watch Annabelle's Wish. Do y'all remember that?
Oh, I love that one.
It's just a cartoon. But
It's
we would watch
Annabelle's Wish?
Annabelle's
Yeah.
Wish, yeah.
Is
It's a
who is
cow.
Annabelle?
It's about a
Oh, it's a
cow.
cow.
The
okay.
cow that wanted to be a reindeer, and they got
Aw.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
yeah.
I think I've seen it too.
That
It's
would be
been
a good
while.
one to watch with the youngins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
I
because
love that
I mean
one.
it's fun.
It
it's
is
sweet.
and it's
a
a
cute
very
little thing.
sweet ending.
They used to show this, and it was an Oscar-winning animated version of Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to show it when we were kids, and she might have missed it because she's a little younger. But anyway, they would show it special on the
Yeah.
local stations. SFM Holiday Network's going to show this thing, and it was terrifying. It was the scariest thing
remember
ever.
that.
Yeah, and so Marley comes in, and he's got a toothache thing on his head, like you bandage, like a
Yeah.
toothache,
Yeah.
and he pulls it off, and his skeletal jaw, just like
Oh.
falls down.
Oh,
It was
heavens.
scary as all. We were terrified as kids watching this thing, and so when we got older. And I started working in this industry.
Yeah.
My sister's like, could you get me a copy of that? And so
can
we
watch it at
found like a
Halloween.
DVD. I think it's on YouTube. You can watch it, but it's a scary thing, and we used to all live in fear of Marley releasing his jaw. So
On that same line, and this just came up.
Somebody losing their teeth.
No, I mean, we're talking about old versus young here.
Yeah.
So as we think about that, I mean, think about some of the characters we saw as children, and some of them were quite horrifying. Like if you look back at your old Easter, I mean, it's not Christmas, but your old Easter Bunny pictures, like
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, the
the
Easter Bunny,
was
or
terrifying.
I mean, at my age, I saw Fred Kirby a lot. he was always at stores and everything.
yes.
And Fred Kirby didn't scare me. He was a really nice guy, but he was. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I remember. And there was even a guy when Star Wars come out at Max. There was a guy dressed as. Y'all, they don't even know what Max is.
I know.
Max is where the new courthouse is going to be.
Okay.
But anyway, there was a guy dressed as Darth Vader in 1978. It was or 77
For
that was
Christmas?
there. No, he was just there in general. But I mean, but it's talking about seeing like
Yeah.
the rabbits or
Yeah.
any of that stuff.
I know, and our
Scary.
parents try to teach, like, stay away, stranger danger kind of thing. But then they give us, hand us over. I see pictures from, like, hand us over to a
Well, they're standing
A
there, so
huge
I guess they figured they
rabbit.
could pop him if he decided to
Well, that's
stab you or
true.
Yeah.
something. But anyway,
Santa Claus,
Santa.
Sears,
Yeah.
No,
there
it's
was
the
a
Grinch. Grinch is
Yeah.
being insane.
where Wayne Gravely's is.
Yeah.
Again at Crossroads Shopping Center, there was a Sears catalog store, and they always had a big display at Christmas. But then they also had Santa Claus, and I have pictures of me and my sisters going to see Santa Claus for the first time, and my dad's standing in line like he is so friggin' happy. I mean, he is just. He worked all day, and then he's standing in this long line with 3
Yeah.
kids, and he was not happy. But he was maybe 20 something.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of funny. He got the crew cut, his little uniform where he was the Sears serviceman. But then later years, when I was around 10 or 11, he became Santa Claus, and he did that for them. And then he would
That's
come home
neat.
and tell you that the kid wed
Yeah.
him or something.
Yeah.
So those were fun. Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
What about Christmas music? Mallory, we'll start with you. Think about what Christmas music you enjoy. We know Go Tell It.
Go tell it on the mountain.
Yeah, she was just singing that.
I like all, 102.9 right now, I jam out.
Oh,
Turn it
yeah.
all the way up. I don't care. I just like, 'tis the season, there's not like any particular, like, are you talking about like genre or something?
Genre, song, whatever.
Yeah.
So with Briggs, because, my 4-year-old son, he loves, like, Christmas to him is, like, that's the best time of the year. So we're a lot
why
of
kids
jingle bells right now, singing jingle bells. He knows about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all those. So I know those to a T.
Love it.
They just replay in my head.
Yep.
Stuck on repeat.
Yeah.
I'll say I like Jingle Bells and Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Like playing on the piano, those were fun because I like to play fast. So those are my favorite playing. I love all the.
Brought you like a keyboard to just
Lord.
break it
I don't
down.
know if I can remember anymore. It's been so long. But all the carols, I feel like they're all.
yeah.
Did a lot of caroling growing up, so at hospice hospice we'd go every year to all the different patients' rooms, and then you had all the different rest homes you'd go to. So those kind of are drilled in
that's
your
fun.
brain.
Yeah.
We used to sing at rest homes. I said
Yeah.
it was because the people were locked in their chairs and didn't hear them, and they couldn't run away from us.
They were stuck.
Yeah.
One year the weather was bad, so we tried caroling by phone. That's not a good idea.
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, at least you tried
You know, just calling people up and start singing.
though. Yeah.
I could
Who
hear
is this? What do you want?
grumpy old feller just
I
saying,
think I had an aunt and an uncle hang up on us. 2 different
Oh.
I love
So yeah. Don't-
y'all might have been out of tune or something.
I know.
It was bad service.
Service.
No, we were bad.
You have bad reception.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was
But we
the
always
reception.
sang like my aunt would line us up because I grew up with a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of us close to the same age. They would line us up like the Von Trapp children
Oh, wow.
and like, okay, sing Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
And we were terrible, but I think they did it to keep us out of trouble more than anything.
Yeah.
But it was like, there we were, all lined up.
Were y'all in sync? Not really.
Lord knows.
Did you start at different times?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's fun about it. It's just the out of tune.
Loud.
Just sound like a bunch of racket.
It was just,
That's my kind of singing.
It's kind of more of a
And then you had the one in the back with the bells that getting, yeah.
Yeah.
Shaking them all the
Yeah.
time.
Just hum, honey.
Sorry, Eric, sidebar. But what's your
Oh, that's fine.
Squirrel.
squirrel?
A squirrel. I like it all. I do, and this is just I'm so old. But there was like a guy that my grandmother had a record of that she played a lot, and he was kind of popular. He was kind of a teen idol at the time, but in the early '70s, his name was Bobby Sherman, and I listened to the Bobby Sherman Christmas album every year, and I've got it on iTunes. I've got it. I listen to it, and it's very 70s and very funky. But I do like to listen to that, and I like I said, because of the Scrooge stuff, I like the old. I like Good King Wenceslas and those like that are a little more, I don't know, Edwardian or Victorian. So I kind of like those because people don't play those as much. They, you know. And if you go to a modern church, then they don't even sing the full song now. They sing like a couple of lines and just keep repeating it.
That's true.
Okay, you know.
You like the deep cuts.
I like the deep cut. I want to hear the real thing.
Yeah.
Like you, I grew up with the whole record album and the piece of furniture stereo, the
Yeah.
whole
Oh, God,
gigantic
Yeah.
console that had the record player, it had an 8-track, and it did have an AM FM radio in it, but
And-
we would...
You kids, don't you jump up and down, shake that record.
Exactly.
Mess up, scratch my record.
Don't scratch my record.
Got my cigarette. Don't
Yeah.
scratch my
What we
record.
listened to, don't laugh, was the Osmonds Christmas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Over and over and over. I mean, Mom and Dad had, you know, some more, you know, like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that.
Yep.
But the
Perry
one,
Como.
The one we listened
Andy
to
Williams.
most was the Osmonds Christmas. So
I like Alabama Christmas.
I do
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's a good one.
It is.
When I hear Christmas in Dixie, my grandmother listened to it on a cassette. She had a jam box that she would sit and do word searches at night because she couldn't sleep. And so, but she would listen to that cassette. She wore that cassette out.
Yeah.
But when I hear Christmas in Dixie, it makes me think of my grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, it makes me sad. But
Yeah.
so don't sing that one. don't sing. Don't sing.
But still hear the Christmas birds from us.
Yeah.
It makes me think of my aunt. But that was
Yeah, see,
yeah.
it's the same kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear it, but at the same time, it
Yeah.
kind of tugs at your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Alabama Christmas.
I think for me, any songs that are about the South or coming
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
Yeah.
are really, they warm my heart because I have lived outside of Caldwell County. But
Yeah.
one of
Oh
my-
yeah.
One of my things was I've always made it home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so anything about being home for Christmas, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Me too.
Did you lay in the bed and listen to the records as you went to sleep?
No,
Another story.
no. Just keep watching.
Just keep watching. You'll see it. You'll figure
see
it out.
You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
No, I did not do that.
Oh, okay. We didn't do that, but you know.
No. I think my parents were more like, just go to bed.
Yeah.
Stop eating candy and go to bed.
I will say my grandpa was kind of innovative in the fact that he had a speaker. The big giant stereo you're talking about was in the living room, and then in the front of the house at the kitchen, or the back of the house at the kitchen, he had run a speaker so they could hear it in there. So he had a hardwired speaker that was to the house while you're in there cooking and doing all the cooking and everything. Grandma got to jam. Because-
Absolutely. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he was not
best
doing
way.
Like,
that.
I'm gonna make
Kathy's-
sure everybody's in the spirit. By gosh.
Now, Kathy's dad did the same thing, and he had his whole house wired that way. And
Really?
he hated wires, and so he hid them all. And so they were like
Lord.
drilled into the floor and all kinds
wow.
of places. So he was
Yeah.
a big audiophile LP guy and had that going on.
That's cool.
So let's talk about childhood Christmas memories. When you were a kid. For Eric and I, that was way back in the day.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It seems that way. It seems that way, and it seems like yesterday. So it's really weird.
Yeah.
Wait till you get old. You'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
I'm on my way.
You're on your way.
Yeah.
Kirsten,
This is 30.
you're the youngest, so we'll let you start with childhood Christmas memories.
I say a lot of my Christmas memories are with my mom and dad and my little brother. We get up on Christmas morning and we always had, they were big on, you had one present pertaining to Jesus, and then you had one present that was some big toy that you wanted or something. So they always kind of kept that as the center of what Christmas is about and stuff. But I think that's like my main, I always remember that every year, getting up on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
They tried to make it really special, so. Yeah.
Did you get up early?
Oh yeah, I was ready.
We did too.
I was impatient.
We get up like 4:30, 5
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
You're like, I'm ready for presents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go wake mom and dad up, or try to, and they're
Yeah.
like, you need to go back to bed.
Yeah.
You know? But they would end up coming in there with us
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'd be so excited.
And y'all had Santa.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Your dad made it fun.
Yeah. We went all out.
Yeah. I love it.
All out. Soot all over the carpet. Mom loved that, didn't you, Mom? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
Cookie
Karen.
crumbs just mashed
Ground
there.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
That's
great.
fun though. You
Yeah.
put out carrots and
Oh yeah. Of course, reindeer have to eat.
yeah, they gotta eat.
I know.
They get you away.
Gosh, they gotta fly hard.
I know.
You know, they're getting it. They go around the world
In one night.
in one night.
In one night.
I'd say Christmas Eve was a big deal too, because
Yeah.
we'd go out to my mama's before she passed away, and like we'd always you'd open her presents, and then we'd always have like a special wrap present that she could open on Christmas morning. But that was one of my favorite memories, is going out there, and she was my person, so
Aw.
I love that. But
We always went to Papa's on Christmas Eve
yeah,
and hung out in the afternoons.
yeah,
So until it was time to go home and get in the bed,
yeah.
so Santa
And
could
you
come.
slept really well, I'm sure.
No.
No, me
No.
neither.
I think we probably slept because we were so tired. We just crashed for a couple hours. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, what about you?
Ours, we did most of our stuff on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day was set for everybody to just recover. So we did all the family stuff. We had them set up like hourly. Like we did stuff with my aunt at 6. We did stuff with my distant grandmother's relatives up in Happy Valley. We did stuff with them from probably about 7 to 8 or something, and then we come back to town and went to my grandma Stafford's, and then we were there until 2 or 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And the guys would drink. Grandma said no liquor had ever touched her lips, so all these people are gone, so they can't beat me up. But so no liquor had ever touched her lips, so she wasn't putting up with that. But Grandpa Stafford would break out the muscadine wine, and him and my uncle and my dad would drink muscadine wine. Then they'd get a little, tipsy, and then they're like, well, we need to have some pancakes. And then they start cooking, and we're just like asleep on the, we'd already done presents and everything. It was after that, and so we're just all hanging out. So that way, the next morning when Santa came, then because Mom and Dad got home and did that. But when Santa came, then they didn't get up at all. They were just like, bless your heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one of us, because I have 2 older sisters, one of us would get up early of the 3 of us, and then get the other 2 up, and then go downstairs and see what. 9 times out of 10, and we got bicycles every year. I don't know why we got bicycles.
We wore 'em
every year.
out.
Yeah, we tore them up. We took them apart. We made new bicycles. We made all kinds of stuff, because you didn't have video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You were messing in the garage or running around the neighborhood like hoodlums. That's what we did.
That's how we were too.
We're like a little gang. We just like went around the neighborhood, and my kids think it's funny because I tell stories about my grandmother that lived would give me $15 to go get a carton of Salem's. And I would ride my bicycle to the corner store and get her a box of Salem's.
Yeah.
They weren't locked up or anything. They were just on a shelf. And she was like, check the date, make sure they're fresh, get the freshest
ones in
box
the
you
back.
get.
Yeah.
Get the freshest box you get and ride it back up here to me. And but that's just what we did.
Yeah.
Didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't even try to smoke until I was older. I mean, it was. So
Yeah,
I didn't
because
think
it wasn't
anything about
like because it wasn't. I mean.
Yeah, I did, and I felt like I was in a house fire, and so I never
Yeah.
did it again.
I mean, And they didn't, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, so it wasn't like you,
No, you just did it, and
Right.
then it's like
yeah,
you got sick, and then you got over it.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff we did. We did it all on Christmas Eve, and then when I got older, people really appreciated that. Like I worked at Blockbuster over Christmas a couple of years, and they were open on Christmas Day, and everybody got VCRs, and so they come in there and check out movies. Well, I had nothing on Christmas Day, so I was always, I'll work, and I worked it, and help people. But I do remember I worked at Blockbuster in Morganton, and they had we only had 2 movies left in the whole store one Christmas Day. Out of all the movies you can think of that used to be in Blockbuster, there was only 2 movies left.
Wow.
I mean, 2 cassettes, not titles. It was like some Alfred Hitchcock movie and some Elvis movie, and that was it. And that was all that was left in the whole store. So I was at the height
would people
of all
come in
that.
and just rent? How many could they rent at a time?
They can rent as many as they want.
Oh, would they rent a bunch
Yeah, and it was
How much was it to?
$3.75 per movie.
per movie?
So it's $3.78 with tax. $3.78. 3-cent tax is all it really was. I don't know how that even works, but it was like $3.78 to rent a movie. And
So would people come in and just get a stack?
they
of
got a
them?
stack of movies, yeah. And they would leave and they'd be happy, but they would just they spent that whole day just really trying to I don't know if I want to watch that, because
Yeah.
they really had to think
Yeah.
about it. It's like people do now.
I
with,
miss going to. Do y'all
Yeah.
remember? I mean, do you remember?
So-
Yeah.
I
Go and
miss
get-
going to like Blockbuster and
got to
renting
pick out a
movies.
movie.
Well, and then you're just gonna see something weird that you never even thought of.
No, and then you
know.
go. I mean, it was perfect marketing. You go to the front and there's all this candy,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just snack size. Like
No,
a
it was movie
full-blown-
theater size.
It was share size.
Yeah.
Shared it.
It was.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
share size.
We
Yeah,
went to
you're
the
supposed to. Yeah,
flick
but you-
video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Huts.
love that. And the one in Morganton, I mean, the one in here in Hickory, or here in, where am I at? Lenore.
Yeah.
The one in Lenore is very small, but the one in Morganton was pretty
Mm-hmm.
big. And we had to blow up balloons every Friday and Saturday night to put at the end caps. So kids got free balloons. I mean, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a big deal for kids to come and get them. And we still rented VCRs back
Yeah.
then. And a lot of people, there's a lot of people of Mexican descent that live over there, and they would come in and not have the VCR, so they'd have to rent the VCR. And so that was
Yeah.
cool. And the little 5-year-old kids talking to you in English because they don't know English. So that's fun. But
Yeah.
and the School for the Deaf was over there. People come in and slam their cassettes down because it didn't have closed captions, even though it said it on the box that it had closed captions. They get mad. This is horrible stories.
I mean, but that was important.
It was
Yeah.
big at the time,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember that growing up. I wish we still had a movie store.
there actually, who was it? This
That
I
was
think
fun.
the last Alien movie, Alien
I go to
Romulus,
the
that just come
library.
out,
Oh,
is
yeah, you can go to the
is the
library.
first movie that a studio has printed on VHS in 20 years
Really?
or something, and they did. So you can buy it at Walmart.
When but too, you can't. I mean, now finding a VCR or a,
It's a little harder,
Yeah.
It's a little harder, but they're out there.
or thrift stores.
There are thrift stores.
Yeah, I'll say.
There's the Goodwill.
Yep.
They're sitting there.
But even media,
Yeah.
Finding the
finding
media.
the media, whether it's a DVD
Yeah.
or a VHS or, I know people collect vinyl, but
Yeah. Yep.
finding those.
It's getting that way. It's kind of in between. There's a lot of video cassettes at Goodwill if you go. A lot of the Disney movies and the big white clamshell.
Yep. So I
So,
say thrift
yeah.
stores. Yeah.
Yeah.
The library still have some.
No, they got rid
don't?
of theirs a long time ago. They have
Really?
They have they have DVDs and Blu-rays available to rent, and even some
thought they
video
still had.
games. So there's plenty of stuff at the library. If you haven't been to the Caldwell County Library in a long time, you need to go because there's
Yeah.
a lot that you can get there that you can get for free and enjoy. And just as a county service, you wouldn't believe the stuff that you can get there.
Yeah.
You can check out games. You can check out cake pans. You can get seeds for your garden. You can get all this stuff that people don't even think about. And we're talking about
Yeah.
you get it for free.
Like board games.
Yeah,
and
board
stuff.
games.
Yeah.
What's Cards Against Humanity, Words Against Humanity, whatever. We actually check that out from
Yeah.
the library. And
Well, that's
played
fun
that.
too. I mean, when family comes, like that's to interact and like we're a big gaming family as far as
Yeah.
like board games and card games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So my mom started like we can't have an event without
A
some
game?
type of
Some game.
game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
I
really
like that.
And she always has prizes, like literally in her trunk, a bag of prizes.
A bag of prizes. That's even cooler.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing all kinds of things on Facebook, like different games, like almost like a beer pong kind of game. But
Yeah.
there's like label and like
Yeah.
you get this cup, you get $1, but you get
Right.
this cup, you get 20.
Yeah.
And like,
We did
Yeah,
that.
I'll play that game.
We do that with our family. So
Yeah.
we do that a lot.
I mean, it's a good
And
way for everybody to interact and
Everybody gets to
you know,
interact, maybe get a little extra present,
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
little fun
It's-
and
yeah.
a little competition. And
you know.
but my family's big on trash talk. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Sorry, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell your family secrets
Yeah.
right here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we play dominoes a lot, and it's not unusual for somebody to say, "I'm gonna throat punch you."
Yeah.
Play that domino.
oh God,
I mean, seriously. we
Don't
got
make me come across
hardcore.
this
Yeah.
table.
Don't make me come across this table. So it's lively.
Absolutely. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
well we
That's what
do
makes it
that,
interesting.
but it's not the trash talking. It's just we don't lose gracefully. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
don't-
competitive. My family's competitive.
Yeah, I think all families are. And then when
Yeah.
you get in that situation, then
Yeah.
it's like I had a CD trivia game, and it was like it would play snippets of songs, like hit track number 114 on the jam box, and then it would play, this song. And I remember it playing Sugar Sugar by the Archies, and the trivia question was wrong because it said that what's the next line in the song, and it was actually wrong. And my cousin and my cousins got into a big fight over that's not the actual word, but on the card it says it's this,
Yeah.
and you said the
Yeah.
wrong thing, so you were wrong.
Yeah.
And so that was a big
That
big
called for a
thing.
table flip right there.
Yeah, it was about there. Yeah, about to the table
Yeah.
flip, but yeah. So good times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my family's extremely competitive, so makes all games
Love, absolutely.
a little more intense,
Yeah.
a little more fun.
It's
Oh,
not
I
fun.
hadn't shared my childhood.
Yeah,
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us yours because I went on
And
to
then all of us
tangent.
were just yapping.
We squirreled.
Childhood Christmas. Eric was talking about his family that did everything on Christmas Eve. Well, my family started on Christmas Eve. My surrogate grandfather had a birthday on Christmas Eve. So technically we were celebrating his birthday.
Yeah.
But it turned into a Christmas event where some of the family, this sounds so like cliquish, but anyway, some of the family exchanged Christmas gifts. So we would do.
Like, were y'all in the same house?
No, we would wait till
Oh.
everybody left.
Oh, I got you.
Which, speaking of that, my aunt would give everybody, all the kids, a Christmas gift
Yeah.
when they came to the birthday party. Well, one year she chose to give us watches. But we had to wait till everybody left to exchange our gifts with
Yeah.
her family.
Yeah.
And there was one family that wouldn't leave. They were just friends of the family. And you got 3 kids there with watches going,
Oh, no.
Like not hiding it at all.
not hiding it.
I know what time it is.
Yeah. It's
I'm surprised.
Present time.
We weren't punished because we were pretty rude about it, but we never, and nobody actually went to them and said, "Would you go home?"
Yeah.
So that was,
That would be awkward
Yeah.
to have to live through.
yeah, it was a little awkward. But anyway, we did that on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning we would get up really early, open our gifts from Santa, and do the Santa thing. Then we went to my dad's mother's house. Then we did my mom's mother. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was like back to back to back.
Yep.
One year we woke up really early, like probably 3. And my dad was always willing to get up. Whatever time we got
Yeah.
up, my dad was like, okay, that's fine. We open all of our gifts, and Dad decides he's going to burn the Christmas wrapping paper.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He crams it all in the wood stove,
Uh-oh.
and our chimney caught on fire. But Dad was on the fire department board.
Of
So
course.
he goes out and he goes,
Hilarious.
we're not calling the fire department. I can't bother those boys on Christmas. Okay, Dad, what are we going to do? I mean, at this point, you got flames shooting out the chimney, you know,
Oh, God.
20 feet. It's like, I'm just going to stand up there on the bank and with the water hose and spray the roof of the house.
Oh no, Larry.
So that's what Larry did.
Yeah.
Turns out the house was fine. And his mother lived next door to us, and she was the nervous type. And I was like, okay, what if she wakes up, sees it, and has a heart attack?
We'll call the
yeah.
fire department. Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of mine. It's never dull in the Richardson.
That's
No.
all. That's the best though.
Yeah.
Never ever dull. What about Christmas as an adult?
I love. I mean, it's still magical, especially now that we have Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that,
like it
that makes
changes everything.
Yeah.
So we start after he was born. We started a tradition where we go and cut down our own tree. You know, and all. So that's always we have to do that every year now. You know, and then the Elf on the Shelf started that. That's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just different. You know, I was always told that it was once you have kids, it's just as exciting or more, like to see Christmas through their eyes. You know.
Yeah.
So now I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And start our own little traditions
traditions.
and yeah.
Say kids make Christmas
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Houston, you have new
Yeah. I've got new families,
family, new nieces.
new nieces, and so sisters.
So she don't even
and
know yet.
Yeah.
She don't even
I'll
know
say-
Yeah.
what she's going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next year.
Y'all say next year.
But I have a question
But
since
yeah.
you do have new children
Yes.
to buy for.
Yeah.
How does that change things?
I think it makes it more fun. I mean, they're all into all the girly, sparkly princess stuff. And so fine
Yeah.
for me because I'm like, yeah, I can shop
Yeah.
for that. But I don't know. It's just magical to see kids at
Oh, yeah.
Christmas. It's really
I
what
love
it's
it.
about is for them. So it's exciting to be able to shop for and see them experience it. So, but
Well, mine are getting up there to where they don't, you know, it's more of a ransom list than a shopping.
Yeah.
It's kind of that kind of thing. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. My granddaughter that comes from Amsterdam, she's a lot of fun. She's been trash talking me on WhatsApp because she just recently in the last year saw all the Star Wars movies.
Oh.
And she is a big fan, and she even dressed up like Yoda at Halloween in Amsterdam and sent us pictures. So she sent me like a threatening text. It was like, what do you know about Darth Revan? Now, I know it's deep dive stuff. What do you know about Darth Revan? And I was like, well, he was in one Star Wars game or something. And she was like, because she's challenged me to Star Wars trivia, and so I think her
that'll be
dad's.
fun.
I think
Oh,
her
wow.
dad's like already
Yeah.
spiking her. But I
Yeah.
told her, you know, we have a Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and Caitlin beat us all. Caitlin beat every
Really?
one of
And
us.
Caitlin's not the biggest Star Wars
And no,
fan.
she hated it and was so tired of it because me and Brent would watch it so much, and Brent
Yeah.
wanted to watch it every night before bed, and so she was just tired of it. So she was, you know, but she knew. I
Still
think her
picks it
final
all up.
question was, what color was Luke's goggles in the X-wing when he blew up the Death Star?
What color were they?
Orange, and she won.
I would
She
have guessed
won.
brown.
No, they were orange, and she won. So, but I mean, she
I
won
haven't
fair and
seen them,
square.
so-
I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
But so no, I'm happy she won. But yeah, Annie's been trash talking me, saying, you know, she's gonna get us in the trivia. But we like to do the games and stuff with her. So she's our youngest that we still got, which is like she's 10.
Yeah.
So she's still fun.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Back to the parent thing.
yours are grown up.
Mine are grown up, but the first year, they're stepchildren, so they came into my life at 11 and 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
At Christmas, our first year, they were 12 and 16. And I was so excited to buy Christmas gifts and do stocking stuffers
Yeah.
that they wound up with a tote, like the full.
It wouldn't all fit in their
Yeah.
stocking.
In their stocking. I mean, Chuck purchased things because they were traditional counts things that they
Yeah.
had to have, like
Yeah.
chocolate oranges and beef sticks.
Yeah.
But
like
I mean, they
these.
did. They had a whole tote. So they would joke and they called it the Christmas tote. They no longer get the Christmas tote because that's way too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, we cut back on that.
Yeah.
But now I have Simon,
Yeah.
who's 2.5. Last year, Simon got a dump truck, and you can't have a dump truck without toys in the back.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I bought it so early. I probably had it in August.
Oh, wow.
So
She was excited.
Every time I'm like, how long is it till Christmas?
Yeah.
But to see him, and I know this year it's going to be
Yeah.
even better because he's older.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He now can open gifts on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's so
at
much fun.
Thanksgiving, he helped me open my birthday gift and was really disappointed.
That it wasn't for him.
Or it wasn't anything good.
It's like,
Yeah.
it was like toys.
Yeah.
It's not a toy.
Yeah.
It's like,
It doesn't make noise.
It
Yeah.
didn't make noise, which he's all about now. So.
and there's wrapping for young children too. I had to learn that because I was used to wrapping seriously because I'd worked in like a department store and you had to really wrap stuff, and so then but you barely put tape on it so the kid can.
Yeah.
Which
get
for me
into
is
it.
hard because the Richardson side of my family, they believe in tape and they
Yeah.
would like
Oh.
challenge you to get into a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that can hurt a kid's feelings. So you
that-
kind of want to.
Yeah, with the little one, you got to be.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a good wrapping paper,
Yeah.
like a good thick wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Which I love that.
I'm not
but-
paying for the good
Yes.
thick wrapping.
It's expensive though.
I'm Mr.
It is,
Dollar
but it's
Tree. I'm
nice.
just like.
Or you
getting
can just
whatever.
get like craft paper and then accent it with bows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
it goes,
never get bows on my Christmas gifts. I'm like, I got this wrap, put that under
Yeah.
the tree.
That's true.
which you throw them away anyhow.
Yeah.
So
But if you're transporting them, the bow gets in the
it
way.
gets smushed.
It gets.
So it gets smushed and it's in the way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I still put bows on.
I say I love those.
I just
They're
fluff them when I get
extra.
there.
Well, what we now call big family Christmas for my mom's side of the family, it's excess. I mean,
Yeah.
just it's the only word to describe it. And we have cut back over the years, but of course, now you may have 60 people there, so there are gifts stacked up almost as tall as the tree and
That's how.
as
Yeah.
wide as it can get.
Yeah.
So bows become really ineffective
Yeah.
because at some point, some gift is going to be thrown at someone, not in
Yeah.
an evil way, but in a way just to
Yeah,
be like,
catch
Yeah.
this.
Chunking them. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
you get
walk to
this.
you because
Yes.
there's too many things in
Yeah,
the way.
catch
so
this.
Catch
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So,
That's how it is at at Papa's. The kids would always build. I say kids. I was one, but we'd build like a fort out of the. That's almost like a shame, kind of. That was so many, but
No, but that's part of the fun.
yeah, like we
Yeah.
would build a fort out of the gifts and crawl inside of it. And so
Well, we've
fun.
also found because there's so many of us that, sometimes you have a new girlfriend or boyfriend
Yeah.
come into the mix.
Yep.
yeah,
And somebody will pull out a present and they're like, I don't know who this is. So it's also forced, family connection.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you need to go meet them.
Yeah.
yeah. Like you trump through all those
And
gifts
you
without
get
falling.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't chunk it at their head right yet.
I don't know who she
don't know if
is.
they'll
Just,
be there
just give her
next
some
year.
isotoner gloves. Just give her some isotoner gloves. With something, get some isotoner gloves.
We also
Everybody
get
loves socks.
spare gifts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, you got your spares that you.
Get you one of them window scrapers.
Yeah, I got you.
The icer.
The clapper. We got you the clapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my mom and her canning and jelly making,
Well, yeah.
food making, she's like, oh, here's your loaf of bread.
I mean, but that's
That's
special.
that to me.
Yeah.
That's level up right there. I'm like, yeah.
Where's my loaf of bread?
Hey, can I have some of that apple butter? Put that in my bag.
I like some jam.
Okay,
Yeah,
Some
where's
of the
my bread?
biscuits.
some
Yeah.
biscuits.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Christmas food, speaking of all that? Something that,
Bread.
candy.
Just kidding.
bread.
You can have bread.
Bread.
You're haunting Hickory Farms, sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me that meat.
Favorite.
Taters.
Well, I have all of my family hunts. So it's usually deer, like smoked deer meat or something like that.
Deer sausage, any of that? You
Yeah.
get any of that?
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yep. Still need to make some deer jerky for this year.
There you go.
But yeah, it's usually a smoked tenderloin or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds yummy.
Yeah, it does
And
sound
I'm
good.
trying to think of anything else that's.
Or anything like always goes in a stocking. Because we have some of those things.
I know that like when we go to Pawpaw's, he always puts apples and oranges and candy canes and all that stuff.
The traditional
Yeah.
stocking.
Yeah.
But that's what they gave them
Yeah.
in the 30s and
Yeah.
stuff. That was a
And-
big deal.
and nuts.
To get
Shelled,
to
like,
get citrus
Whole
was
Yeah.
crazy.
pecans and
you know,
yeah.
that was an extravagant thing.
Yeah.
We got obsessed with the Godiva chocolate, but it's the salted caramel, and it was like a specific one. And we found them at TJ Maxx one year, and then we couldn't find them anywhere for ever. But then the next year we found a whole bunch, so we got a ton in each of our stockings. But
Those peppermints with the soft peppermints with the Christmas trees in the middle.
yeah,
And they would always, so our stockings would be hung over the fireplace. Well, those would fall to the bottom, and then you go to get them and be stuck. They're melted.
melted and
Like,
stuff.
oh, we'll have to put that outside, let it cool down before
Yeah.
we pull it out. But yeah,
It's a different shape after that.
They're not round.
No.
Usually flat,
They're kind of flat.
distorted.
Squish.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because my mom came in my house. Dad was there, and she was like, "I brought you a gift," and it was those round peppermint, kind of round peppermints with
Yeah.
the Christmas tree.
Yeah. I love those.
Those are yummy.
I don't think I ever saw one that was perfectly round.
No,
They were
they're
always
never
No,
kinda
they're
round.
usually,
mushed.
yeah. They've been tossed around a little bit.
Yeah. Hang out in Meemaw's pocketbook for a
Yeah.
while.
Or in church.
Get that
They're
at church.
usually, yeah.
Get that at church.
You know what's random is I always like those little Debbie gingerbread men. Those are like my favorite. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually soft.
Yeah, they're like soft, and you had the icing, and
Briggs loves the
I miss
Christmas
the.
The little
cakes.
white
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Christmas tree cake.
I
Yeah.
like both of them.
Yeah.
And I made some, I used to made some gingerbread cookies over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they
They
good?
were so good, and it was from a mix. And
Yeah.
I was like,
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
these
love
I need to stock
gingerbread.
on.
We need to taste test those.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Can you have gingerbread?
No, but
No.
it's okay.
No.
Maybe we can find a gluten-free version. of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to look for
I can
free.
just get a piece of it or something.
Yeah.
you
Let
know.
her swell up. Just give it
That's
to her.
all
let her
right.
swell.
You know, it's the holidays.
Yeah,
Eric,
enjoy
what
it.
about you? Christmas food?
The
candy?
thing that I like and nobody in my family likes is eggnog.
I love eggnog.
We were just talking about that the other day.
And, yeah, which is.
Oh, and fruitcake. I don't like fruitcake. I don't know if that's sorry. I
I've never
interrupted.
really
I took-
tried it. I was just too scared to even try it. So.
It looks like a smorgasbord of stuff just thrown together.
Yeah.
Like scraps.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I used to do some advertisements for like Apple houses
Yeah.
and stuff, and they would have those really weird bright red,
Yeah.
bright green, radioactive looking candies that go in the stuff to make the fruitcake.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was crazy. And
Yeah,
they would
like,
have
what
the
is
Happy
that?
Home flavorings
Yeah.
to put in it. Which, if you need Happy Home flavorings, they have them at City Hall. I'm just saying. If you're I'm serious. They got them where you pay your water bill. They got the
They
Happy
do
Home
have
flavor.
them.
Oh.
I saw them
Yeah,
when I
you-
paid
Really?
my water bill.
Yeah, you can.
So
when
you
you
go
go
buy
to pay
'em.
your water bill, you can go up there and buy them. They have the Happy
Hobby
Home
Dog.
flavorings at City Hall, so you don't even have to go to your local Apple House. But anyway, I was always scared of
Yeah.
the cake, but I am like she's sitting here telling us that she's gluten free. I'm lactose intolerant, and then I drink eggnog.
Eggnog.
So
Yeah.
then she's bring it on. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
at
just
this
get
point.
sick.
Tis the season, right?
Tis the season, and I will sneak some every now
Yeah.
and then. But the family's like, "Bleh, that's too thick."
Yeah, I don't-
Bleh."
It's a texture thing.
I love it.
I love it.
My thing is Christmas candy, homemade Christmas
Yeah.
candies.
And
With
you've
powdered
told us
sugar.
before about the extravagant candy land that your family will put together. I mean, quite the table of candy.
Like there can be quite the table of candy, and I mean, each family member kind of has their own thing. And I mean, some of my family that have passed away, you know, they had their thing, and we have tried to duplicate that.
Yeah.
Some we've been more successful with than others.
There's always something missing. There's always something magical that they did.
Yeah, a little
Right.
touch of love in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know. My Aunt Kay, she's still alive, but she always made Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
Peanut
Buckeyes.
butter balls
Yeah.
and chocolate. Oh, Lord, love them things. And my Aunt Marilyn used to make the 3-day coconut cake.
Oh yeah, my mom
Paige
makes
loves it.
Paige loves so much.
coconut.
She's broadcasting that to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
I'll
drink
just
Takes 3 days.
cake.
Anybody that knows me knows that coconut is not my favorite. My family makes coconut cakes, and I hate cleaning up the mess from coconut
Yeah.
cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it goes everywhere.
It goes
does.
everywhere.
It's like doing slaw. If you're doing slaw, you got
You got
slaw everywhere. You got
Yeah.
cabbage everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like coconut at the same time is almost like chewing cud because it don't go
Exactly.
away.
Chew it for
You just sit
days.
there.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, we got some
Keep chewing.
coconut.
Look like a goat chewing on sawdust.
We did. Both of us sitting there gnawing on it.
Yeah, I'm not,
Yeah.
not a fan. So I don't make any coconut candy.
No. anything
No.
Like
I
that.
only make the candy I like to eat, so that's probably a really bad idea, though, if you think about it.
No, but you know it's good.
Yeah, because you've eaten
I
half
mean,
of it.
yeah.
Well, that batch wasn't so good, so let me make another one.
I'm gonna
Now-
eat the rest of that.
Now, I don't know if you told the girls, you probably did, but Paige was kind enough to take me to pick up my son the other day. And what did he say when you opened the door?
Well, you opened the door because we just
Yeah,
drove by.
yeah,
and
what did
he
you
was
say?
like, "Where's my cookies?"
Paige make cookies?
Like
That's
first
what he
thing.
wanted.
Yeah.
First
That's
thing.
so
Yeah.
We're
first
picking him
thing
up
he
at work,
said.
and he's like,
Yeah, I was
Well,
like, no,
No,
it was
Brent.
election night. I
it was
like,
election night, and I had
No,
car
I-
trouble, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I've been a little busy.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but that was hilarious. You know, I had to
Well,
laugh
of course.
at that. Yeah, of course that's what he's
I
thinking
mean,
of.
Paige and her famous cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
love her
funny that you
cookies.
say that. I was having lunch with some of our emergency services staff, and the fire marshal looked at me and he goes, "I haven't had any cookies lately." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're eating lunch. You shouldn't be thinking about the
Yeah.
cookies."
They're good.
Yep.
I do
I gotta
like
bring
to
some more
bake.
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make some big cookies. If I bring you eggs, you'd be like, hey, these are for the cookies?
These are for the cookies.
Like, hint, hint.
Here's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy baking.
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing people
Very
happy.
good at it.
I even made our Thanksgiving desserts.
Did you?
Did you?
What'd you make?
I made white chocolate raspberry cheesecake.
Yum.
And then,
Sounds
because
good.
I was afraid somebody would be heartbroken if they didn't have a pumpkin pie, I made pumpkin pies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
nobody ate pumpkin pies. So.
No,
Oh.
I
Oh,
was going to say, I bet they pick the cheesecake.
I like pumpkin pie.
I love pumpkin.
Can you eat pumpkin pie?
No, but I like pumpkin pie. Yeah,
It's
it's
basically in everything.
Yeah.
well, Dad started making this like gluten-free pecan crust, and it's really good. So I want to try that with like pumpkin pie,
You
that'd
could
be
probably
good.
do that.
because he does like a cheesecake and then does blueberries on top, and it's
Yeah.
good.
I think we need to probably do
It's
some more
good.
cooking shows
Yeah.
in the new year.
Yeah, it sounds like we
That would
do.
be good.
Yeah.
It seems like
Yeah.
We need to.
Let's do it.
Learn all these new recipes. So
Yeah, we're
Just
trying.
share
We
it.
got the new kitchen.
Yeah.
We
get
do
the-
have
Yeah.
a kitchen at Cooperative
Yeah.
Extension, and they're doing a lot with it, so I guess, you know, we could
Yeah.
schedule some time over there.
yeah, that'd be fun.
We
Do
can
some
share our
more.
recipes.
Yeah.
Try it out.
But usually they do nutritious things.
Yeah.
and
No, we're
fruit.
just going to bring this.
Well, last time we
Yeah,
did
like-
cinnamon rolls, so
Yeah, we did. some
We do the sweets.
yeah,
Yeah.
the squishy cinnamon
I
rolls.
got to
but-
even it out.
That's
Yeah, we
right.
gotta do,
It's all about balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you have a little sweet.
Well, guys, thank you for sharing your Christmas memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
And
fun.
I'm going to go ahead and warn our audience. We hope to get back together in the new year to talk about our bucket list. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see
Our bucket list.
our bucket list. Oh,
Goals.
Been informed.
I have not been informed of the
Eric's
bucket
not
list.
been informed of
What
the
is?
bucket list.
I mean, just what you got to do before you die, or
Like
within the
some
next
of the
year.
things, not the next year, heavens. Nobody's got time for that.
No.
But you know some things
What, a
that
month,
you
12 things. You could
12 things are things you would like to do. I
Yeah.
mean, you've always thought about it, and you're like, I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
Some, I guess, I don't want to say resolutions, but I guess they are. I mean,
Well,
you want
goals,
something,
maybe
life
yeah.
Goals.
Yeah.
in my case, they're dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams. How you got a dream? You got a little hope.
Little
Yeah.
hope. I mean,
Get you
and
through
think
the day.
about it, hope. That's what Christmas is all about.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure is.
Absolutely.
Speaking of hope, we hope you've enjoyed watching us today.
And hope you had a good time.
Yes. And have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.